I came to Rwanda because I've always had a heart for Africa, especially Rwanda has always had a special place for me. And I really wanted to see God in a different light and a different context because religion is really new to me and I'm still discovering who I am as a Christian and I'm still discovering my walk in my faith. And I wanted to see how other people deal with their faith, especially people who have been through so much, and how they continue to have so much trust and joy in their hearts.
We live in maybe one of the richest areas, the richest country of the world, and being in a location where it's maybe more of the opposite of that, I think it'll really help reshape my thinking and my perspective in life on what's important. Mainly what's important. Because I think that we could get distorted a little bit where we live. So we first start out in the countryside, and so there's a lot of farmers. It's an agriculturally based society, and so it's rolling hills, a lot of farm land. Every single square foot is used for the first 2 hours of our drive. When we hit the third hour out of the 7-hour drive, we hit the jungle, right? And so immediately, like, no civilization, just windy roads. Eventually we get back to more agriculture, and then we hit our location here, and now we're in this beautiful area surrounded by a lake.
Just seeing everything, walking out the front door, coming here at night not knowing what to expect, and then seeing all of this is phenomenal. Like, you really think of artists and how great they are, like all these big names like Van Gogh and Monet and all these other artists, and then you see something like this firsthand, and God really truly is the most amazing artist, the author of life.
I am being humbled, I feel like, almost every minute, and it is causing me to really kind of reevaluate what is most important to me.
We visited the hospital this morning, and you saw how little they had, how many sick kids were squeezed in rooms, tents outside. I wouldn't want my child in a hospital like that. So it just breaks your heart for those moms, because I can't imagine feeling so hopeless. With World Relief, 1 in 5 kids didn't make it to their 5th birthday, and I have 5 kids. And I knew that, but when you get here and you start to see them and you count them and you realize how many of them aren't gonna make it, it just, as a mom, it breaks your heart. I didn't realize how much just your presence could mean to somebody. I'm more of somebody who would rather give them the money and the medicine they need. And after just praying with them and seeing them wake their children so that they could be a part of us praying with them, just really touches you.
We got to go to a church where there were, if I were to guess, probably anywhere from 40 to 45 pastors. They're from all different denominations, but have churches in Rwanda, and they have recently, been working with World Relief and realized that basically they can be more powerful and really be the hands and the feet and the heart of God in a more effective way when they work together. When people are in need themselves, and to realize as the church, it's our responsibility to do what we can with what we have rather than looking at what they don't have. And so they start with one person, and yet they're now beginning to see that trickle down. And now the person that they helped is able to help the next person.
This morning we drove probably a little over an hour outside to kind of the edge of one of the villages, and we helped build a house. We transported some logs. We bought some trees down there that they were using to build the frame of this house. We then had to dig out the holes for them to put these posts in. So we kind of had some makeshift tools. They weren't necessarily the greatest things to dig with, but the people just kind of used what they have. It was really cool kind of to see the ingenuity that they had in some of these tools to kind of make what they needed to make this frame for this house. So everyone came together to build this house for this woman and her son. That she was a widow, she lost her husband and multiple children, she said. I'm not sure how many in the genocide. She'd been homeless for a time before this. I got the feeling it was an extended period of time. I'm not sure how long it was. So it was pretty cool to see multiple churches come together. It wasn't just her denomination, it was from churches all around the area working together to build this woman and her son a house who hadn't had one. A lot of times we can come to church and work on our relationship with God, but we don't necessarily love people the way that Jesus called us to. So just to once again be there and be a part of that, I mean, it was almost a little overwhelming to see just the love that people poured out to each other. That these people don't have much. They probably could have spent their time out farming and doing things to help support their families, but instead they all gathered to kind of help this one woman and her son who necessarily couldn't help themselves.
World Relief has one of the programs that is Savings for Life programs. So this program basically looks at how it can enable the people in the rural areas to have some income for themselves. Many of them earn $1 per day, which is basically what will feed their families, and some of them have big families. But when World Relief started working in Rwanda, started working in different CZs, and basically in Nyamasheke CZ, that's when this program was brought in place, where it has helped very many people.
Ryangejejeho ibintu byinshi kuko naryinjiyemo mbaze gupfakara mugabo amaze gupfa, mbega ryambungabungiye umutekano ku buryo bwiza busesuye kuko nta sambu nagiraga, ariko icyo gihe nkimara kwinjira mu itsinda niho naguze umurimo uri na hano hafi, ntabwo uri kure. Ubwo rero nkimara kugura umurima rero ubu ndawuhinga, mbega nta kibazo mfite. Ikindi gihe cyose nkeneye amafaranga barayamba.
Mothers have bought pieces of land. Fathers have built boutiques and have built houses, take their children to school, get medical insurance. This is something that they never thought that they would do. And some people also have taken much of their income to serve other people in their community. And above all, these groups, not only do they meet to save their money, but they also meet even to share the word of God, which has been a big impact in many of the people.
Inyungu yo kuba mu itsinda icyambere ni ugusenga. Hamwe no gusenga Imana, ukinjira mu itsinda, bene siko kuko mubungabunganya umutekano bakanakugiraho icyizere nta kintu bagomba kugukoma no kuguhisha. Mbega itsinda rifite akamaro kanini cyane kuko nkubwiye ko nari mfite ubwigunge, ariko nkimara kuba mu itsinda hamwe no gusenga Imana, muri umurimo wo gusenga Imana, bene data bangabungira umutekano no kumfasha kwa amafaranga nyine nkabona uburyo bw'uko nagenda nkarangiza ibibazo mfite, namara kubirangiza nkajya ngenda mbungabunga umutekano wa mutungo wacu.
One of the highlights of this trip and the other trips I've been on too are we get to do a camp for orphans and vulnerable children. And these are kids that have had very little support. I mean, their lives have been extremely hard. Most of them don't have parents. And not only that, oftentimes other family members have hurt them. We heard stories from a number of them that they had been poisoned by like an aunt or an uncle to try to take their little bit of land that their parents had given to them when they died. And it's just, these are kids that have had really hard lives. And so we get to invest 2 days with them. And in Rwanda, because of the genocide, which killed almost 1 million people, there were over 400,000 orphans after that. And it's a real problem within the country. So one of the neat things we got to do was just spend time talking and praying with each other. And we shared our prayer requests and their prayer requests. And their view of America is that everyone in America has enough money that there are no problems. People are always happy and have everything they want. And so they're kind of surprised to hear that our lives aren't that way and that we have a number of problems and things aren't always great for us. But for them, their prayer requests are really just for the most basic things in life. One of the guys, his prayer request was for a place to live because he had been living with some family members and that wasn't working out. And so literally when he left the camp, he didn't know where he was going to sleep that night. And so we were able to pray for him and get him connected with some resources that might be able to help out. But their prayer requests are for food, for a place to live, for the ability to go to school. And so it's really kind of humbling to be there and just hear what they're going through and what their lives are like.
Our camp and what we really focused on was having hope and faith in God, even especially when things get difficult, in times of grief, in times of struggle, and even in times of prosperity. And we got to play games with them, we got to know them, they got to get like good meals, and also it was about building a Christian community for each other. So a lot of the OVCs didn't know each other before, but you could tell that by the end that they had made some really close and hopefully lifelong Christian friends.
Ndarusobanukiwe byinshi bimwe narabimenye ku buryo nakwigisha n'abandi.
Icyo nakunda nuko abazungu batuganirije bakaduha ibyiringiro, bakatubwira yuko nta kidashobokera Imana, bakatubwira ko ibitekerezo byacu tubishyira imbere y'Imana kuko nta kidakemura. Ntitwajye duhora twigunze, tubone ko Imana yatwanze, ahubwo tujye tuyegera.
You just never know like if our paths will cross again, and you just want to know how they're doing and if they're okay and if things are better or if there's, what can I do? Are they still believing? Are they struggling with hope? Are they getting to go to school? Are they getting to live their dreams? Are they scared? You just can't know that. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it was great that they were there, but and it was really great to have them for 2 days, and it's just amazing how much you care about people after only a couple of days. You feel like you've known them forever.
Rwanda is a country of paradoxes. It is one of the most beautiful places on earth, yet endured one of the greatest tragedies in history. Many Rwandans struggle to cover their basic needs in life. yet they have a hope and a joy that's unbelievably inspiring. The Rwandan people work extraordinarily hard every day just to survive, yet often struggle to have enough to support their family. We have a lot to learn from Rwanda, but we also have a lot that we can give.